The gospel reading tells us about the end times. Yes? And everybody said yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is an interactive sermon. Okay. The gospel reading tells us about the end of the world. But the end of the world, as it's depicted in Hollywood movies, you've all seen these Hollywood movies where the world is going to come to an end one way or another, right? You know, it's the Superman movies and these Marvel heroes. You know, everything comes crashing down. Insurance companies go bankrupt. Waiting for laughter. Okay. You have to adjust to me, I know. But the end of the world comes also on a personal level. For each one of us. The end of the world has come and it is gone and it has come back again. I'm going to give you 3 stories about the end of the world as it happened to me. Because we see the end of the world differently. We see it not in terms of cataclysmic events that take place, you know, throughout society, but we see it personally. The first story happened 65 years ago. 65 years ago, I was 12 years old, and my father said, "No more allowance. You're going to get a job." And I was a paper boy in inner city Chicago. My father had a congregation at Wicker Park Church for 40 years. And he said, "Get a job." It was a cold November day, something like this, and I had a beautiful red Schwinn bicycle, and I was ready to go. I had little hooks on the handlebars of the bicycle where I'd pick up a bag and put it on right. My first round, I had 100 papers, and I was not used to the weight of the bike. I was not the tower of strength that you see before you now. You're not supposed to laugh at that one. I got to the newspaper agency on Western Avenue with my bike, loaded the papers all into the bag, and someone had to help put it on the bike handlebars because I didn't have the strength for that. But I'm ready to do. First day on the job, cold November morning. It's about 6 o'clock. It's still dark out. There's a fog, and I am pedaling down. And before I get to my first delivery, I have to make a turn, and not used to the weight of the bike spills. First day on the job, I can't even deliver one paper, and I'm a failure. And I try to put the bag back up, but again, I did not have the strength. For me, it was the end of the world. Out of the fog, there came a stranger. To this day, I can't remember what he looked like. I only remember he didn't say anything. He came, saw my plight, he took the bag and put it back on the bike, and I went on my way, and I never spilled the bike since then. That man changed my life. Up to then, my father had said, well, members of the congregation had said, "Are you going to be a pastor like your father?" I said, "No. I couldn't match what my father did. I didn't know what a call was, but I did know, because of that, I did know that I wanted to be something like that man. I wanted to do something to help others." We move forward. It is the end of my junior year in college. People were still asking, do you want to be a pastor like your father? No. In spite of the fact that my father hinted that I was going to be a pastor, because he kept saying it's past your bedtime. I was majoring in math, minoring in physics, right? And I still didn't know what I wanted to do. Still didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just treading water, so to speak. And then I came to church one Sunday. Well, I had been to church every Sunday, but this one particular Sunday, I was sitting in the last pew. The last pew is sacred. And there was a hymn being played at the end of the service. The hymn was, Spirit of God, descend upon my heart. You know it? You know the second verse. I ask no dream, no prophet ecstasies, no sudden rending of the veil of clay, no angel visitant, no opening skies, just take the dimness of my soul away. Bingo! It hit me! It hit me! There I was, thinking what it meant to be called a pastor. It meant not that you're going to take and open a Bible and see, go and preach to all the world. You're not going to see that. It didn't say, you're going to be struck by lightning or a dream. Because that's what I was waiting for. That's what I thought a call was about. It just said, take the dimness of my soul away. I wasn't waiting for an angel to come down, lightning to strike. And I walked out of church that day and I looked at the neighborhood where I had been delivering papers for a long years and years. And I knew the people in the neighborhood. I knew they'd get up in the morning and they would read my paper if I got there on time. And they'd go to work, they'd come back, they'd eat, watch television, go to bed, get up, and it was a routine. I said, these are the people that I would be speaking to. What did they need? Remembering that man back many years ago. What did they need? And my father had always been preaching. And he said they need the gospel. That was the end of my junior year in college. I dropped the math and physics. I had piles of nostalgia, pictures. Do we have time for pizza? I look at the clock, listen to the radio. There's no signs for evacuation. I figure, okay, we've got time for pizza. By the time that came, by the time we had the pizza, I had calmed down. I was okay. Three disasters, at least for my life. And 3 times the Lord comes and says, I've got help for you. A stranger comes. It comes in the form of a printed text, a hymn, music. And who would think the Lord would speak to you through your wife? What I am saying is, the gospel lesson for today talked about a calamity of the world. What it doesn't say is something that you already know. Christ had promised, I am with you always, even to the end of the earth. And that is what we all need to take with us. And the congregation said,